Hey everybody, welcome to Surface Level, a show that takes a look at society's expectations and rejects the ones we don't see it for, all from the perspective of three black queer best friends. I'm one of your hosts, Tony, and today, Jordan, Damon, and I are discussing our relationship with the straights. Do our straight friends and family need to come to Jesus on how to deal with their gay friends? Is it okay for black women to have their gays but not want their son to be gay? This is Not Your Gay Best Friend. Not Your Gay Best Friend. All right, y'all. So this one here is going to be a little interesting because I think it's a topic that, comes around and goes around. But
it does.
Let's start with a little game before we jump into the nitty gritty.
Of course.
So this is going to be kind of like a would you rather / how would you react if moment.
Okay.
So would you rather be the only gay person in a room full of cishet men or cishet women? Think carefully.
Ew. It's like purgatory or hell.
Cishet women for sure. I mean, that's the easy choice for me.
Okay. Interesting. Damon?
Let's go with women. Sure.
Oh, see, I'm gonna say men. I want to be in a room full of testosterone.
We bet.
It's a hot girl summer coming up. The remix.
And you are the hot girl.
So
wait
all
a
right.
minute.
Next scenario. If your mother asked you today, when am I getting grandchildren? Would you make up a time frame or ignore the question completely and change the topic? Damon?
Never. That's the answer. Leave me out of it. Kids are evil. Actually, that's how I ended up coming out to my mom.
Ooh.
She was asking me about grandchildren. I'll call my dad. I said, I got to break it down to her. That's it.
So let's go sit down on the couch real quick.
That's enough.
Jordan, what about you?
I actually got that question last summer. I would give a time frame, but not not a real one. I was like, I need to find a man first. And she was like, no, they don't. You can just they have technology now. That was her answer. I was just like,
she's right.
Yeah. I was just like, okay.
See, my answer would be, when I get it, you get it. Next case. All right. Would you rather be best friends with Tamar Braxton or Nene Leakes? Now think carefully on that one because they're kind of similar. Jordan, what do you think? Best friends now.
Best friends? Is this like plead the fifth on Bravo? Can I just not choose one?
You have to choose one.
Okay. I'll pick Nene Leakes.
Oh, okay.
What was that? Was that disappointment?
That wasn't judgment. Sounded like judgment.
What?
I'm just saying no. Nene Leakes is your new bestie.
I'm going to go with Tamar, so then I get to hang out with Tony Braxton.
Yes, we are the Braxton.
You better climb that social tree.
I'll actually, maybe at one point it was Nene Leakes for me, but this new Nene Leakes is crazy. And we know Tamar's a little bit crazy too, but I think I could tolerate her a bit more and have a little bit more fun with her.
Nene can't keep enough friends. It's just going to be you and Nene and Greg.
Because this you are a bad friend.
You are a bad friend, Marlo.
What did I do, Nene?
My answer is, you're right. I'm going to head on out.
Next
Nice knowing you.
If your cishet friend introduced you as their gay friend, do you correct them or do you smile and nod? Jordan?
Introduce me as their gay friend.
It's my gay bestie.
Do you correct them?
Oh, wow. That's actually just I'm stumped. I don't even know anybody yes. I think so.
That sounds like a lie.
I'm like, she lying.
I don't know. Maybe I would smile and
I think that's probably more.
I would
like the Jordan.
I would like to tell myself that I would say something, but I feel like I would just smile and nod and then keep that as a mental note.
Oh, you'd say something, but it would be like weeks later.
Months.
Damon, what about you?
Child, I'm correct on site.
Right. It's given on site for me. It's given what? Like what?
Child, it's hot
all right.
here.
If a relative tried to come for your sexuality in front of a room full of family, would you give Nuck if you buck or Don't Hurt Yourself, Beyonce? Jordan?
I'm definitely giving Don't Hurt Yourself.
Don't hurt yourself.
Because let's be clear.
You got a speech ready.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
We all know who the Beyonce of my family is. So.
Ooh, how she shade the whole family?
We definitely know that.
You might want
me, Ma.
You might want to be nice to me.
You might.
No, Mima's Tina.
If you want that little envelope with some cash in it for
Hello?
Christmas that Santa Jordan comes around with,
Hello?
you might want to don't hurt yourself.
Exactly.
Damon.
Always don't hurt yourself.
Ooh. Yeah, it's definitely giving who the fuck do you think I am?
Yeah, I ain't a thug, child. Nuck if you buck.
Why? I don't fight. I'm like kind of like Jordan, use my words.
I mean, we're not fighting at the cookout, child.
But it definitely gonna be fighting a tongue lashing.
Come in the cookout, shaking my dreads.
All right, so we're gonna flip the script really quick and turn it over to men. Would you rather Drake as your straight male best buddy or Bruno Mars?
Bruno Mars.
Why?
He's fun. Bruno Mars seems like I'd have a good time. I feel like I would be bored to death with Drake.
Well,
in his gaudy house.
Jordan, what do you think?
I'm picking Drake.
Right, I think I would pick Drake because Bruno Mars, like, I'm just gonna be too into him, and I'm not really sexually attracted to Drake like that. But I feel like there would be a lot of fine motherfuckers around and Drake's posse or just around.
And I just feel like with Drake, there would be no costs spared. Like everything would be lavish and taken care of and over the top. I'll probably get a chain
it like Bruno Mars is a charity case.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Drake feels a little bit more cash.
But Drake is gaudy.
All right,
I'll take a chain.
Listen,
as a farewell gift for hanging out. Here's your chain, Jordan. Thank you,
all
boo.
Right, last one. So after this episode, do you? And if I don't know if any of you have straight male friends, but do you think you'll be more likely to hear from your cishet friends about what we've discussed, or would it be giving crickets after the conversation we have today that we're about to get into?
Oh, my friends talk to me. My straight friends talk to me about the podcast.
Okay.
Like, yeah, they're a vocal bunch.
Yeah, for me, I think I would be likely to hear, but I'm also curious about, like, I don't have a lot of straight male friends, so maybe this will get me some.
well, it is a hot girl summer. Isn't
It's
it?
a hot girl summer. Jordan,
I have a few straight male friends that reach out to me, but not many. I'm assuming the other ones just don't listen to the podcast.
they paying it, yeah. No, they listening to it on the low, I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
Send your straight friends on the down low.
Down low brothers. Cute.
All right, so let's get into our convo here. Talking about our cisgender, heterosexual friends. And let's start with how coming out to them was. Like, do you think did you get the shock and awe? Did people throw you out and be like, bitch, don't talk to me no more? How'd that go? Tony, let's start with you, since it seems you only have like one straight friend.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, like, I don't know if this question applies to me because I don't feel like I had to come out. I feel like I've just been who I am. And so when it comes to, like, the cisgendered heterosexual friends, and it would be girls, like you said. I don't have a lot of, at least, I mean, I hope I don't have any straight male friends that are listening that are like, oh, so we ain't friends now. But for the females, it was easy. Like, that was a no-brainer, and it was like a non-starter in terms of conversations. Like, nothing needed to be said. It was just giving, hey, girl, all right, where we going? Let's hang out.
Exactly.
Jordan?
I had a very similar experience. I mean, it was very quick and easy. I think I just overthink the entire thing, because once I actually had the conversation, it was just like, all right,
what now?
Next.
Yeah, I think it was a thing in my head more than anybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
Even thinking
And you got
about
a lot of
what?
straight friends.
I didn't know where that was going.
I was like, you got a big ass head.
That's what I thought he was about to say. I had a big head too. I was just like, oh, she want to fight in the studio. It's fine. But no, it's funny. Even now, I think about people I talk to about the podcast. We talk about people that respond to like podcast social and stuff. Like the girl I lost my virginity to talks to me about the podcast.
Oh, wow.
We love that. A full
Right?
circle
Like,
moment.
You know what?
yeah, like that's a funny thing that I think about. But no, I think that's a positive thing, and I think, hey, it says something great for some of the people that we know. Not the same case for everybody.
Right.
But was there, and I guess this doesn't necessarily go as much for Tony, but was there a difference in how men treated you versus women, or even just in your family when you came out to the men in your family versus the women? Maybe let's start with Jordan this time.
So one memory is sticking out to me. So this is even before I came out, but I had a mostly straight male group of friends when I first came to Howard. And I remember when there was like speculation about my sexuality.
One of there were whispers in the hall.
One of the guys was just like, I just need to know if you're gay because people are saying that I'm gay now because I'm hanging out with you. And that sort of stuck with me. And also it sort of, I guess, created a mental roadblock for me of like prolonging my process of coming out, because I just felt like, well, damn, like if me being who I am is like causing other people strife, and I'm not even out. I'm like, what does that mean for when I come out? So there was that. So then I just naturally isolated myself from my straight male relationships for quite some time, and sort of just like really dove into like my relationships with women. And that was super easy. I mean, when coming out to straight women, I feel like it's like a sigh of relief. They feel like, okay, great. Like now we can hang out and have more conversations. I think there's something about straight women that enjoys the company of a man without the underlying sexual pressure. You know, like you could just like hang out and they know that you're not like, you know, there's nothing to think about in terms of like sexual pressure. So I feel like that was sort of like my response with women. But in terms of actually coming out with straight men, it was pretty much like I said, quick and easy, which was kind of surprising because I think that that's where I heard a lot of the homophobic comments. You know, like so it's just like, if this was so easy for you to just sort of come to terms with, why was it also so easy for you to like say so many homophobic things leading up to this?
Child, they know no better.
I know, it was like in vogue to be homophobic.
But it's like their own fragility. It's just like, if I can make myself feel strong by shitting on somebody else, then I'll do that.
And that's kind of where my answer to that question would be, as it relates to like when I was a kid and remembering like cousins, like straight male cousins or uncles, their favorite thing was to say was faggot. They would call you a faggot, like that, or like yellow gay ass. Like that would be what everyone would say as an automatic like go-to for an insult. And that to me was like, it made me, and I wasn't even like at that point I didn't even know I was gay yet. I was just being me. So it kind of left me with just a ill, I don't know, just my way of thinking about like men just changed forever, or like straight men just changed forever, because you know my other way of thinking about men.
How'd that go?
Yeah, it advanced.
Sure it did.
But same for like, you know, black girls around me or black women in my life. You know, they would call you a sissy or, you know, stuff like that. And that to me left a bad taste in my mouth. So like we talk about being heterophobic, you know, I think it started at a very early age.
It was funny when I came out, was like after Howard, and I had a good amount of straight male friends. So my friends found the value of having a gay wingman in their crew.
Both the guys and the girls?
The guys. I'm speaking specifically to the guys.
Oh, yeah, I can see why.
Very helpful. If we're, say,
strategic.
This is funny. We were on a trip in Europe. We were in Ibiza. And right, but it's like my friend was trying to get with this girl, but she was there with, ironically, her gay best friend. And he's like, he needed a wingman to, and like in other scenarios, just like, oh no, I'm with him, I can't go anywhere. I was helpful.
I'm sure.
Very.
They wanted to use you for tips and tricks.
There you go.
To get tips and tricks.
Show that value.
Lots of value here, baby.
Love that.
It's interesting though. I think a lot of times when we even think about our time at Howard with some of the people that were out and accepted, or you think about your neighborhoods back home, it's often oddly like the most feminine presenting people that like are often accepted. Like you think about like the quote gay person in the hood, or the gay person on campus. In the time we were there, it's a different story in New Howard. But when we were there, it's like everybody's cool with the girl that's super flamboyant, is in a dress, has a weave, and it's just like, that's such and such. Why do we think that is versus someone being as comfortable with someone who maybe presents the same way they do, who happens to be gay as well? Tony?
Well, I think it's like people enjoy, you know, what you see is what you get. And it takes out a lot of the guessing work when you have someone who's just like flamboyant out there, is who they are, you kind of respect that a little bit more. It's like the person that doesn't care about revealing themselves advances the most socially, I think. And the person who is keeping themselves who they are, like trapped in a box, they're miserable. And also, I think people are afraid of that. It's like you're keeping secrets. So it's, or just like you're not being who you are, and I'd rather know what I'm getting and what I'm dealing with versus the guessing work. So I think that's probably why just being flamboyant or just coming out, and then even if you're masculine and if you just say, hey, this is what I like you get more respect on your name for that. So
yeah, I tend to agree more so like with your last point. Like I want to challenge the question a little bit because I think that straight men will always place more value on masculinity, whether you're straight or not. And I just feel like the idea of straight men being friends with gay men, I'm generally speaking, I'm not talking about all straight men. I think that they are more comfortable, which was the question, with men who display more masculinity. I think that when you add that extra layer of glitter on top of it, I think that that's when it's sort of like, I don't really know if we can have like a close friendship. So like I do think that maybe they're more comfortable with them in like broad social spaces where it's like, oh, that's the gay guy over there, and maybe I can hold a conversation. But when it comes to like, no, this is like the homie, like this person is invited to my birthday dinner. I mean, like the more intimate relationships. I mean, I'm going to take a guess and say that straight men are probably more comfortable with the men that display more masculinity.
Right. I mean,
and maybe that's just my trauma.
I feel like that depends.
Yeah, like maybe that's just my personal trauma and I'm not giving them enough credit. But that's sort of...
You wait till this episode come out. They're going to be coming for your neck.
Well, please let me know. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I would love that.
I think sometimes when it comes to, if we talk about the broader community, they're being comforted with like very feminine people or very just like outwardly presenting people in that way. It's sometimes because I think they view those people as an object, like not even as like a person in the same way that they respect their boys or whomever it is around them. It's just like the neighborhood sissy or whatever they want to view the person. Like you know what I mean?
Refer to me as the neighborhood,
not the neighborhood queen.
That sounds like somebody getting passed around.
No, what? No, I mean like, I mean it's like you
call me a hoe.
Right. That's what it sounds like.
You've been passed around.
Oh, girl.
But I mean it in the sense that they view the person as like an idea of something more so than a full person. Or like when you think about the fragility of your masculinity, it's like I can be around that person because like I feel stronger than them.
I can see that.
And like if I feel intimidated by them, like I can beat them up or whatever it may be, versus like a big ass football player that happens to be gay. You ain't running your mouth with your like weaknesses around your masculinity to that person. Like you're not talking no crazy faggot shit to that person.
Right. But what I think sucks is that like straight guys will get in their mind like that feminine gay person is what gay people are, and they get caught off guard when it's someone like masculine presenting
their best friend,
right, and then they find out later on down the road, that their best friend was giving hello. So I that's the unfortunate part of it, where when you started to talk about people viewing that feminine gay person as more of an object, or like that represents the gay community, and that's what I deem as what's gay. But lo and behold,
it's just like you could be a bit of anything. But yeah, so moving into relationships with women, I think we often have, as a community, the outlook that okay, the gays are super comfortable with women. Is there truth to that? Well, it seems that there's a bit of truth to that based on our previous statements.
Right, there's focus group of three.
Focus group of three.
Right.
Just our opinions, guys. Sorry. Tony.
So you're talking about our relationship with black women.
Yeah.
And what about it, though? Like,
is there truth to the fact that gay men oftentimes feel more comfortable around women than men?
I mean, I think...
In your experience.
I think guys in general... are more comfortable with women. Like, I'm a mama's boy. Like, that it's an automatic they're there, you know. But as it relates to being gay, absolutely more comfortable with Black women. I think a lot of my cis het female friends are well, a lot of my cis het friends are females because Black females, because I think there's a comfortability there, and it's almost like having a girlfriend. Well, it is like having a girlfriend. It's like one of y'all, but just a female.
Who are you calling a girl?
You.
You're talking to you, Damon?
Both of y'all.
Oh.
Girls.
Mm-mm.
Plural.
With a U or a I?
A Z.
That's Z.
Oh my God.
But no, like, yeah, absolutely. I don't want to speak for both of you, but I think if I were to take a poll, that you would find that there's more comfortability with Black women or just women in general, in the workplace. Like, you see it transcend everywhere in your lives. And I think there's only I only know probably one person that's a gay Black man who, outside of you, Damon, you have like straight male friends, but there is someone else that all three of us know that is all of his friends are like straight guys. And that to me was kind of, it was enlightening, and I'm like, maybe I should get me a little roster going.
There we go.
At first I said Rasta. I was just like,
oh no, not about a roster.
Now she going
that
to
too.
Jamaica.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Both of them.
What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true. I think for starters, we both enjoy the company of other men. So obviously that is a bond, an unbreakable bond. I think that we both feel devalued within our community while constantly achieving the most.
Come on.
And that's just, I have no statistical data to back that, but just let me talk my shit. I just, you know,
baby girl,
I think, you know, we be pulling through. And once again, I said this earlier in the episode, but I do think that because there is no question around a potential sexual attraction, I think that you can really invest your full energy in building a healthy platonic friendship.
Excuse me? No potential for sexual attraction? Don't speak for everyone, baby.
I'm talking about gay men.
I know what you're talking about.
Cishet women.
I know what you're talking about.
So if you're a gay man,
I can't be attracted to it.
Then you're not gay. You're on the spectrum somewhere.
Excuse me.
I identify as queer, so
exactly. I'm talking about
it's a
my
catch-all.
experience as a gay man with women who identify as heterosexual.
Okay, I get where you're going.
I don't know where y'all land on the spectrum.
I could pick up what you're putting down there, but sometimes it's
you
giving.
can be gay and still have sex with a girl.
I
Having
mean,
sex with a girl will not make you not gay, girl.
I get that, but you know, I mean, why?
Listen, by far and large, in broad strokes, that's statement.
We don't need the hip movements. I wish y'all could see this.
Child, she is over there doing a hula dance.
Broad strokes. This is broad strokes, baby.
Actually, you need to stop.
Is it turning you on?
Actually, it's really not.
That's why we can't be friends.
Okay,
because you into me. No.
How do we get here?
I don't know.
Child, what are we supposed to be talking about?
I don't know.
That is funny.
Okay, we're going to pivot.
Yeah, let's pivot.
So do we think, though, in those relationships, a lot of times, there's like the gay best friend. But if you asked a lot of those same women, likely wouldn't want their son to be gay.
Ooh.
What do we think accounts for that feeling? Is it fear? Is it wanting people not to have levels of oppression? Like what, Jordan, maybe we start with you that time.
I mean, that really bothers me because I feel like you see a lot of that in media, right? These women who benefit from having, you know, the creative masterminds that are gay people. Like you want me to come over and install your lace front and pick out your outfit. But when you find out that your son wants a smoky eye for his birthday, now the shit is like demonic.
Too far.
And we need to revisit it. And I think that's a real issue. But I can acknowledge that I think that some women think that they're acting out of the best interest of their child. They think that they are protecting their child from homophobia, but that's impossible. You can't protect your child from the pains of the world.
Right.
All they can do is be themselves, and you need to just prepare them to receive whatever is going to come their way. And I think that it's just ridiculous. You do your child a disservice, and they're going to grow up to resent you. So if you're a straight woman and you're listening to this and you have kids and you're not really sure how you want to support a child, don't have one.
Period.
Do not have the child. You're not ready to be a parent. Actually, you need to parent yourself first.
You are ill fit.
All right.
Ill fit. I'm calling the police.
No, I think maybe they can have the people. Listen, parenting is
You
some
said
shit
they
you.
can have the
I'm just saying. I'm like, goodness. I'm like, parenting is some shit you figure out on the fly. But what I would say though, it's the same way that blackness is. Like, it's just some shit you get. These are the cards you get. And you should put the energy into training or investing in any child about how to love all parts of themselves.
Right.
In the same way that, like, if I'm born black, you're not going to be like, boy, you really got dealt a bad hand there. It's just like, no, like, you're taught, like, your blackness is beautiful. You love to learn your hair. In the same way that I think that we, as a community, should take the same approach to sexuality in our children when you see, like, oh, they're a little left to center on the femme spectrum or whatever it may be. Like, show them
a little left to center.
left of center.
Girl, that spectrum.
Ooh, we got a little sugar in this
You got
tank.
a little spice on them, child. Tony, what do you think?
You know what really grinds my gears?
Here we go. First time this season.
Black women who have their gays but don't want their sons to be gay. That is so. It's just hypocritical. It's like, well, girl, I can't be friends with a black woman that thinks in that way. And if I catch you, I'm definitely challenging you.
Snatching your lace front off.
I'm definitely challenging you. I'm snatching your lace front off that some gay black man probably put on your head.
I'm like, give me that shit back.
Because it's just, you don't get to have your gays and eat it too.
Wait, hold on. You know what?
So do you think like some black women are getting a bit of a pass for the homophobia?
Absolutely. I think so, because you mean like in terms of black women who are...
Yeah, like you're not investing in loving your child, or you just want to have good wigs and outfits, but
do they get a pass?
Are you saying that's what's happening?
Well,
because we still installing the wigs. The girls haven't stopped dressing them.
Well, that's the thing, but no, I think it's those are the girls in hiding, the ones you don't know that's how they feel. I'm saying if someone's outwardly that way, I don't know a gay black person that would support that. That's like, oh, I know she's like this, but it's okay. Like, she wants to have her gay friends, but she doesn't want to have a gay son. And I think going back to what Jordan said about protection, I do believe that that's a place that black women come from, because I know firsthand when I told my aunt, or actually I didn't tell her, she told me I was gay.
I know that's right.
My aunt Crystal, she's back.
Child, I accidentally told your aunt you were gay.
Oh, child, see? And that's why I didn't want you to come around.
Ray Jordan's.
That's why I did not want you to come
did
around.
Out Tony. Well,
and so she came to me.
Listen,
she was
child,
like,
don't be inviting me.
She was
Nobody
like,
out there don't
she
know.
was like, listen here. She was like, I know. So do we got to put on the united front for the family? But I think when her concern was that she's known other gay family members and just what has happened historically to just gay people in general. So she was more concerned about, am I going to be safe? And you're right. You can't want someone to be safe but not want them to be who they are.
Yeah.
right.
So, yeah.
I think I don't know. It was interesting. We were talking about this question. I kept going back to a statement I made in the first season of the podcast when I was saying, how much are we willing to accept for so little?
Yeah.
I think like a lot of times we'll get together and complain like, oh, the Atlanta housewife said something really nasty about queer people. Or
Wendy Williams said something
right,
crazy that was like men
right,
shouldn't
or
wear
like
skirts.
Nene had a party with the girls and the gays that time, like they were little purses or accessories. Like everybody bring a gay.
Right.
But
It was definitely a petting zoo.
Yeah, but at the same time, everybody's still doing their hair. Everybody's still watching the show. Like
and I picked her.
Right, and
friend.
Jordan just
That's
said he
your
wanted to be
bestie.
his best
That's
friend.
your best friend.
So like the thing is like, yeah, we can be critical of people, but like, are we creating an environment in which it encourages that or gives it a pass? Like that's why I'm saying, are we giving passes to people for certain things, for employment, for just random enjoyment on a Sunday afternoon when the housewives come on? Like, we're a big part of that. Like,
I think
exchange.
unconsciously. It's like we're participating, but not even realizing that you a part of the bullshit.
Right. It's just like, But for real, like, it's not. I don't think it's fair to critique a situation without acknowledging the part that we're playing into it.
Yeah. No,
Like-
I mean, absolutely. We got to own our shit too.
Yeah.
And we do participate in it. But if you ever catch me slipping, correct me, remind me.
Don't worry, I
say,
always do.
You know, I don't mind constructive, criticism and feedback, because that's how I get better, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I think that in terms of like giving passes, so like, not to say that this is an excuse, but I do acknowledge, I feel like a big conversation or a trend that I see when I'm talking to straight women is that they feel like they have at least been once duped by a down low man, that they've invested time in, and that sort of left a sour taste in their mouth about the community.
100%.
And they're just like, oh my goodness, like, I don't even know if this person is gay or straight. And then I feel like that sort of trauma trickles into like a problematic sort of, I guess, perspective on the entire community.
Right. They go into attack mode.
Right. And it's just like, I'm like, I get that you're okay with me because I'm open and I talk to you about it. But also, like, on the other coin, like on the other side of the coin, you have these like pent up, like, I guess, frustrations with the community.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, that still doesn't excuse bigotry. So, but I do acknowledge that is something that has come up constantly with the straight women in my life.
It's a cycle, right? Because they're nervous about getting with a guy who's down low or what have you, but they also enjoy being around their gay friends. And if they do have a bad experience, they automatically are talking shit about the whole community, and it's like one is broad strokes. And so that's not fair, but it is a cycle that we're all participating in.
Right.
I don't know. It's just like, I don't want to make this episode go too long, but like, is it that traumatic to have dated somebody who has now decided they want to date the opposite gender?
I think depending on the level of investment and commitment you made to that person and how you found out, yes, that could be very traumatic.
They'd be like, did I turn him gay?
Some women have, found out this news really far in their relationship with these men. And I would be pissed if I found out that someone was dating me as a front for their life. Like, that will really like tear me up low key.
Right. No, absolutely. And they be thinking like, did I turn them gay? Was it,
Whole
what
time.
What did I do? It really had nothing to do with you, sis.
Whole time you think you're getting married.
But they be like, well, leave me out of it.
Yeah.
I get that.
You wasted all my time. Now the best of my 20s are behind me.
Listen, don't let me be dating a gay who I think is a gay man, and lo and behold, he actually wanted a woman, and
They could be bi. I don't. This is where I think it gets tricky. Where
You're right
like
about that.
the things that exist that are not gay
I can get
or
into something like that.
heterosexual often get swept away. Because I think that's a bigger part of the conversation, that people aren't as binary as we think they are. It's in terms of sexuality.
Yeah.
But we often force people into those roles.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you
For sure.
being a bisexual man. Oh God, people shame the fuck out of that.
Lord.
Even the gays are just like, oh well, you want a girl. I don't like. I think gay men have an issue with dating bisexual men, or people that are pansexual and don't even like. We don't even talk about pansexual within our community, or at least the people I'm around. Like I think.
I mean,
that,
coming out as bi is really. I wonder how like a guy like Avery Wilson, who recently came out as like I'm bi, what he's experiencing from the cishet black female community.
And from our community.
And from ours.
Child, the girls are insecure. They're just looking all over their shoulder.
We paint them in broad strokes, too, because it's given, like, if you're bi, are they gay, child?
They're gay.
It's automatic.
It's just like, whatever.
That is true.
But anyway, we like to end our episodes in more of a positive light. So, or maybe this will or won't be positive.
Yes, you put in your positive light voice.
Meanwhile, this girl's about to come hollering. So if there was a thing you could say to some of your black, cis, heterosexual friends in your life, or people in your life who view themselves as allies, but maybe they don't always get it right, what would you say, Tony?
So, who view themselves as an ally, but they don't always get it right.
I think we know a lot of people in our lives, speaking specifically back to some of the black women or black men as well, that they view themselves as your friend, as an ally to your community. They don't look down on you, but hey, they may say something that's homophobic. and don't necessarily realize it, or they may have actions that are homophobic and don't
Right.
necessarily realize it.
Okay, well, yeah, in those cases, it's a teachable moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's an opportunity to give some perspective and bring something to light that they might be doing unconsciously. They don't realize that they're saying something hurtful, or they're being contradictory in their words, or the fact that they're hanging out with someone who is gay and in the same breath bashing the community right in front of you without realizing, like, oh, you're a part of it because they think you're Judy's, and you are.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's just like, it's an opportunity to really bring have a conversation. You know, it's nothing better than to help really bring your friend up. You're lifting them up by teaching them so that they know better moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
That's I think a positive that comes out of when things like that happen. You don't automatically just cancel a person. But if they're doing it time and time again, if they're a repeat offender, then you might want to snatch their lace front.
Clean off
from the follicle that don't exist. But anywho, Jordan, what do you think?
I would say resist the urge to center yourself and your feelings and your values as it pertains to who I choose to love.
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of times people just sort of include what they think and what they feel, and it's like, this is not your life. So I think as an ally, your one and only responsibility is to create safe spaces for me to be who I am. Mm-hmm. That's it. Everything else is a distraction. And what I will also say is...
and another thing.
Stop trying to hook me up with your other gay friend.
Ooh.
I honestly...
Unless I ask.
No, not even when I ask, because y'all never get it right. Like, I don't know if y'all don't know how to read gay men, but like every time y'all show me a different person, I'm just like, do you know me?
They be like, I got just the one.
And then you see the one, and it's just like, that's not the one,
That's
baby.
not even the
It's
100.
actually
It's not
the
the
two.
one or the two or three.
It's the 100.
I'm like, please, just stop. You could just be a friend. You don't have to be Cupid for me. Ever.
I'd say that in instances where maybe you don't get it right and someone brings it to your attention, take your L and move on. Like, stop trying to. The journey to being better isn't always easy. Real friends will call you on your shit, and you should be able to receive it without, like Jordan said, censoring yourself. And yeah, sometimes it's uneasy. In the same way that we as a community were telling white people last year, like, hey guys, y'all gonna need to learn some shit, and it's gonna be a little bit hard, and I don't care. You need to get over it. Same concept.
Right. 100%. And that's the net on that.
Hello?
All right. Well, that is all the time that we have this week. Let us know your questions and comments on Instagram at Surface Level Podcast or our official website at surfacelevelpodcast.com. And you can watch our responses in a video series that we call Surface Level Sound Off on Instagram. And if you enjoyed this show, please rate, review, and subscribe. And remember, stay curious.